Thank you. Joining us now is member of the Oversight Committee, Congressman Jared Moskowitz, a Democrat from Florida. He was in the room with Hunter Biden this morning. Congressman, we saw you because our camera was taking it live. You pushed back directly on the Republican lawmakers in that committee room. What was your take on what we all witnessed?
Well, thanks, Anna. Thanks for having me. Well, look, I think it was, pretty aggressive of Hunter to come, but also I think what he's doing is he's calling the chairman's bluff. I mean, the Chairman Comer, several times on national television, invited Hunter Biden to come to the committee. In fact, he said you can choose between coming to a public hearing or a deposition. And then all of a sudden, when Hunter said, okay, I'll come to a public hearing so that the American people can hear my side of the story, all of a sudden they started changing the narrative and saying, oh, no special rules for Hunter Biden. He's got to go to the basement of the building where we can take his deposition, where no one will hear what he has to say, and where we can spin exactly what we want to sell to the American people. And so, look, you saw me ask my colleagues across the aisle, Hunter's here, let's take his deposition right now while the American people are watching, and not a single Republican raised their hand. And so, at the end of the day, I think what the Republicans, my colleagues across the aisle, showed the American people is this is not really about getting the evidence or getting the truth. It's about trying to go after the president, hurt his poll numbers with a lot of the fake stories that they want to tell. We're now over a year into this investigation into Joe Biden, and they still have no evidence on the president. Even Chairman Comer admitted that when asked that today on Fox News. He said, I think we do, but they don't. And so, look, I'm hopeful that we can get back to doing the business of the American people. There's a lot going on, keeping the government over in Ukraine, Israel, things of that nature. But today was a continued sideshow from the chairman.
Did you know in advance that Hunter Biden would be coming this morning? Was this coordinated?
No, I didn't have any advanced knowledge, but, seeing how, he came and did the press conference last time, I mean, that was a pretty aggressive strategy. So my colleagues, quite frankly, across the aisle should have expected something based on that previous move by Hunter. That being said, I think it was pretty smart for him to come and show the American people that my colleagues across the aisle actually don't want the truth to get out. They just want to continue to spin.
Do you think the House will ultimately hold Hunter Biden in contempt?
Oh yeah, this is the biggest secret in Washington is that these things might not happen. I mean, the committee will vote today to hold Hunter Biden in contempt because that's what Donald Trump told them to do. So they're going to do that for Donald.
But they didn't hold Jim Jordan in contempt when he defied his own subpoena by the January 6th committee, right? So why isn't there a same standard for all?
Well, again, I gave that invitation to my colleagues across the aisle. I said, look, there's an amendment to this subpoena resolution. Add in Jim Jordan, Scott Perry, and Andy Biggs, who all defied subpoenas. They did not appear when they got a congressionally authorized subpoena. Add them in, and there are amendments today to do that, and then I'll vote for this, because then we can show the American people that the law is going to be applied equally and that no one is above the law. They're saying Hunter got special privilege. Well, those Congress folks got special privilege by defying a subpoena and never being held in contempt. So if that amendment passes, I'll vote for it, because then we'll be showing the American people that we're going to handle both sides the same way. But I guarantee you, I predict the future, not a single one of my Republican colleagues will vote for that amendment. In fact, they will probably call a procedural rule and not even allow the vote on that amendment.
So what comes next in all this, and what is your message to your colleagues across the aisle?
Well, my message to my colleagues across the aisle is, if you want to hear from Hunter and you have all sorts of questions for Hunter, let him come and do that at a public hearing in front of the American people. What are they afraid of? Why are they so afraid to keep the American people out of this conversation? The chairman invited him to do that. He accepted the chairman's invitation. That's not special privilege. Now, if the chairman, wants to take back his invitation, if he regrets sending it, I'd love to hear the chairman admit that. But right now, the chairman didn't do that. In fact, I gave him that opportunity also in the hearing to say, do you regret saying that, Mr. Chairman? Do you retract your invitation? And he pretended like it never happened. But the problem is we have video.
All right, Congressman Jared Moskowitz, thanks so much for offering your perspective. When we're back in 60 seconds.